Okay, showcase. Right, so with the upcoming fixtures, right, that are going to be taking place in midweek for the DStv Premiership, right, there's going to be two upcoming fixtures that will be taking place in the DStv Premiership, right, and both these games are derbies. You understand what I'm saying? Both these games are derbies. So obviously tomorrow on the 28th of November, which is going to be a Tuesday, it's the Cape Derby, right? Cape Town Spurs take on Stellenbosch FC, right? I think the game will take place at the DHL Stadium or at the Athlone Stadium. We wait to get confirmation on that one. And then the other game that will take place is obviously on Wednesday. Mamelodi Sundowns play their first DStv Premiership game in over 2 months. The last time they played was that win over Stellenbosch. That 3-1 win over Stellenbosch at Lucas Moripe Stadium. That was the last time they played in the league. So this is going to be their first game since then, right? And obviously coming into these two games, these are derbies. The first derby will be taking place in Cape Town at the DHL Stadium between Cape Town Spurs and Stellenbosch FC. And then the other derby, which will be taking place on Wednesday, the 29th of November, between Supersport United and Mamelodi Sundowns at Loftus Versfeld. So yeah, let's break up these two games. These mouth-watering clashes, these mouth-watering derbies. So right, let's say this one. Supersport have been very disappointing this season. I want us to start with the big one, of course, the Tswane derby. Even though it happens later, it takes place later after the Cape derby. But I want us to start with the Tswane derby. Supersport United, Matsatsantsa Pitori, they've been very disappointing this season. Honestly speaking, yes, they are in third place, but it's very mediocre. They've displayed very mediocre performances. Remember, they were knocked out in the first round of the MTN 8 against Stellenbosch FC at the Peter Mokaba Stadium. They were knocked out again in the first round of the Carling Knockout Cup at home against Polokwane City by 4-1. And then now in the league, with the fact that they've played 4 games more than Mamelodi Sundowns, you would really expect Supersport to be, really challenging. Really challenging for the title, challenging for honors. You understand? For the fact that they put on a good showing last season, finishing third, you would really expect them to keep up with the momentum and now push. You understand? Keep pushing for honors, for top honors, so that they can challenge their city rivals for the title. They haven't done that. They've been very poor this season. And that's the reason why I say they've been very poor. Because Supersport is supposed to be challenging Sundowns for the title. Right now, Supersport are third. Incredible. They're third in the league. Behind Mamelodi Sundowns with a point. They are behind Mamelodi Sundowns with 1 point. And mind you, Sundowns have only played 8 games. Right? And they've won all their games. Supersport have played 12 games. You understand? And Supersport have only won about out of those 12 games, they've only won about 7. Only 7. You'd expect them to be winning 12 out of 12. I mean, for a team that really wants to compete, that if a team is really serious about competing, they must show intention from the get-go and continue being consistent. You understand? But I guess maybe it goes to the fact that maybe defensively, there's a lot of question marks to be asked. You understand? And I guess also it goes with the fact that sometimes it's decision-making from the attackers in front of goal. Sometimes it's decision-making from the attackers in front of goal. Because right now, I mean, Sundowns are now runaway leaders again. It seems like they're runaway leaders. Even though Cape Town City are number 1, they might be topping the spot. They might be topping the log with just a point over Mamelodi Sundowns, but it doesn't really make much of a difference because they've played 5 games more than Mamelodi Sundowns. So it doesn't really make a difference at all. You understand? So obviously, in this game coming in the Tswane derby, obviously Mamelodi Sundowns are fresh from winning the African Football League, 75 million price tag in rands. You understand? Congratulations to Kabuyelo, congratulations to the Brazilians, congratulations to Rolani Mukwena and the boys once again. And yeah, I think they're going to win this game by 3-1. Mamelodi Sundowns are winning this game by 3-1. I don't think Supersport really have it in them to really challenge this team. Yes, it will be a game of tactics, understanding that Gavin Hunt is a very tactical coach as well as Rolani Mukwena, but I think Sundowns have got the overwhelming dominance. There will be several players who will be playing against their former team, former teams, both on the side of Mamelodi Sundowns as well as Supersport United. On the side of Mamelodi Sundowns, Thapelo Maseko, Teboho Mokoena, Sipho Mbule, Aubrey Mudiba, Ronan Williams, they've all played for Supersport United. You understand? And they will be playing against their former club if some of the players that I mentioned do get minutes against Supersport United. And then for Supersport United, Nigerian striker Etiosa Okadaro, he's on loan from Mamelodi Sundowns. I'm not sure if he will be playing in the game because I remember the rule by FIFA states that a player who's out on loan may not play against his parent club. You understand? If he's sent out on loan, he may not play against his parent club. Another player who's a former Mamelodi Sundowns player obviously is Lyle Lakay. You understand? He will be playing against his former team. I mean, that for me was the surprise transfer last season when he joined Cape Town City, when they released him to Cape Town City on loan. It was a surprise. It caught me off guard. That really caught me off guard because Lyle Lakay really contributed so much to the Brazilians in that time when they won the domestic treble. They won the Dstv Premiership. They won the MTN 8 Plus, including the Nedbank Cup. You understand? They won the treble. They completed South African football it was in the 2021-2022 season. You understand? And Lyle Lakay was phenomenal that season. He played a massive role in that Mamelodi Sundowns team. So it was a surprise that they let him go, but I guess it hasn't really affected Mamelodi Sundowns that much, and the boy is also doing very well at Supersport. We saw even with Bradley Grobler banging hat-tricks again. He's also amongst the top goal scorers in the league. So alongside even Peter Shalulile, his opposite, strike force right there. And we saw Khanyisa Mayo currently is the top goal scorer in the DStv Premiership with 7 goals so far this season after scoring the winning goal against Golden Arrows at the Mpumalanga Stadium in Hammersdale. Now that is 6 consecutive victories for Cape Town City. And we hope to see more. Yeah, like I said, Sundowns will win the game by 3-1. I understand, and we know that for a fact. Even though they haven't played in the league for so long, but they will win. And speaking of Sundowns, we saw them play in the CAF Champions League, winning by 3-1. I don't know how to pronounce that team's name, but apparently, let me give you a background, right? The team that Sundowns took on yesterday, in the afternoon, in the CAF Champions League, their first group game, winning by 3-0. That team is from Mauritania, right? Mauritania is obviously a country within the, I would say, perhaps central or west side of Africa, central or west side of Africa, right there. Because remember, geographically, it looks, you can say it's on the east, but geographically, it's also on the west. Most people would debate, but I would say it's on the west. It's a west country in Africa, right? They are the current champions of the Mauritania Premier League, that particular team. They won the league last season. They're the champions, the league champions for the 2022-2023 season in their domestic league called the Mauritania Premier League. So they took on Mamelodi Sundowns. This is their first time competing in Africa. And we hope to see more from them. They really didn't show much quality. Yes, of course, understanding the fact that it's their first time competing in this competition, competing at a high stage. So hopefully this experience will teach them more on how to actually prepare for, the big guns. When you're playing against big clubs like Mamelodi Sundowns, playing against big clubs like Al Ahly, Zamalek, Wydad Casablanca, as well as teams like TP Mazembe, Pyramids FC, those type of teams. And we also saw Pyramids FC of Egypt winning by a 0 against TP Mazembe. You understand? Against TP Mazembe. And guess who got the goal? Former Cape Town City and Supersport striker Fagri Lakay getting the goal for the Egyptian side. Pyramids FC. You understand? Fagri Lakay. And we also saw Tswane FC pulling off the biggest upset. Tswane Galaxy of Botswana. This is the same team, the very same team that knocked out Orlando Pirates. They knocked out Orlando Pirates out of the CAF Champions League this season. You understand? Via penalty shootout. And this is their first time playing in the group stages. And they caused the biggest upset. Away from home, imagine, incredible, against Wydad Casablanca, the defending champions. No, yeah, the 2022 champions, Wydad Casablanca. Imagine, the biggest upset, away from home. Give credit to Tswane and Galaxy, man. Give credit to them. You understand? Give credit to the team from Botswana. And yeah, man, coming back home, we will discuss more about the CAF Champions League more later on. Let us come back to the Dstv Premiership action. Let's go back to the game between Cape Town Spurs and Stellenbosch. Well, we all know who's going to win this one, who's going to emerge victorious. Of course, it's a derby. Sorry, sir. Of course, man, it's a derby. You know, a lot can happen in a derby, but we all know who's going to emerge victorious in this one. I think the Stellies will win this one comfortably due to the fact that they've got the quality. They've got Reyners. They've got the Ivorian, Ora, who scored the winning goal against Amazulu away from home at the Moses Mabhida Stadium. He's only 23 years old. Mind you, he's only 23 years old. A replacement for Junior Mendieta. What a brilliant player, man. And I hope to see more of him. Hopefully he will play a major role for the Stellies in grabbing all the bragging rights in the Cape Derby. Remember, Stellenbosch have only played 12 games so far. They've only won 5 out of those 12 games, right? So they languish in 7th position, just a point behind Kaizer Chiefs. So coming into this one, you know, these are two teams that are on the opposite sides, you know, opposite ends of the table. You understand? We're talking about a Stellies team that is right now competing in the semi-final of the Carling Knockout Cup. They also came close in the MTN 8. They just lost via away goals against Orlando Pirates. This is a Stellenbosch team that has shown that they can compete at the highest level. Jaden Adams, Gaugelo Sigota, Mkaka in the midfield. You understand? This is a team that you know is building. They're building something. And very soon, you might see, you might actually underestimate this team currently at the moment. But this is a team that I can tell you for a fact, in very little time, this is a team that will be challenging for league honors. They will really be competing at the highest level. I can tell you that for a fact. If they continue playing like this, show more consistency. Yes, unfortunately, they have lost a few games here and there, but you can see there's so much positivity. You understand? There's so much, you know, energy about this team. There's so much swagger. There's so much enthusiasm from this team when you watch them play. They are one of the most exciting teams in the DStv Premierships to watch, man. You know, to be honest with you all. And I, in my opinion, they are the ones that are going to win the Carling Knockout Cup. From my own perspective, I go with Stellenbosch FC. They will win the Carling Knockout Cup, even though they take on Richards Bay at Moses Mabhida Stadium next weekend. I sincerely believe that they will win the Carling Knockout Cup, right? You understand? That's final. They are the favorites to win it, and that's also, in my opinion, I agree, they will win it. You understand? Against Richards Bay, but it will be very tough. They must not underestimate their opponents, because we have seen Richards Bay are capable of pulling massive upsets. They've already done so in terms of reaching the semi-finals. They've knocked out the two Soweto Giants, Morocco Solos, in the first round, as well as they did so against Orlando Pirates, the Cup Kings. So that was Pirates' first Cup defeat in about over 2 years or so. So Richards Bay is a team that cannot be underestimated, and the Stellies need to really be prepared going into that clash. And yes, they will win this game against Cape Town Spurs. Cape Town Spurs is a team that I can already say they're relegated, even though the first half of the season is not done yet, but they're relegated. They've lost 11 out of their 12 games so far this season. They've only won once in 12 games. And the other games, the other 11 games, they've lost all of them, including that 2-1 defeat against Royal AM at home over the weekend. Both teams are struggling, Royal AM and Cape Town Spurs, going into that clash. But Cape Town Spurs, again, you would think that home advantage would work in their favor, but still, they still fail to capitalize on home advantage. I guess Royal AM were more clinical in front of goal. Great goals by Khulekani Shezi as well as Menzi Masuku, getting the goals for them. And then we saw Ashley Cupido getting his third league goal of the season. That was just a mere consolation for Cape Town Spurs. But yeah, man, I really don't see them bouncing back from that one. Honestly speaking, 11. I've never seen a team that has lost almost like, almost all their games. So in a particular season, all their opening games, only winning once. That has ever been able to survive. So I don't see Cape Town Spurs surviving the drop. And obviously Cape Town Stellenbosch will win that game overwhelmingly by maybe 3 goals to 0. Clean. It's just gonna be a clean game. Clean. So yeah, man, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, man, don't forget to share it, don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, we'll be in touch pretty soon, man. Cheers.